We okay.
All right, we'll get started with questions here. We have a mic for questions, so please just raise your hand and we'll bring it over. We have two, one on each side, and we'll get going. Sorry, Ben, right there.
I know you're looking forward to this one. How close are you to naming a starting quarterback right now?
Closer than we were the last time we talked. Okay. We're getting there. Whether or not we'll announce it publicly before kickoff is still to be determined, but it's working that direction.
How good do you feel about that position overall heading into this first game?
I feel good about it. Again, the competition's been excellent. Again, we're still striving for consistency and understanding and leadership and a lot of different things that are going to be there. And I'm confident with all three of those guys if when they're on the field.
And I wanted to ask you, like, injury wise, how are you guys doing headed into this opener?
It was a little question. We're doing okay. You'd like to be better in some spots. I will say, as always, through my head coaching career, on game week, the injury report seems to shrink quite a bit. So it did again this week. So we'll see where it who's fully available, and as we, tomorrow's a big day for that for us. To be quite honest, is my philosophy has been that you need to practice during the work days. You got to get one of those in to have some type of availability, but we always look at the role of the player and how much work they've had throughout time. So, but all in all, pretty decent.
Is there anyone out that you were hoping to be counting on?
That's probably not as of like going into game planning and stuff. I don't think that's overly changed at this time.
I wanted to ask you about your young secondary, especially on the 2 deep. You have a few freshmen in there. What's your comfort level with that, and what have those guys done to impress you so far?
Their athleticism and their really their overall competitive nature on the field, but as it's pretty well in print, they're young, and with that, the inexperience and growing pains can happen. But the whole secondary, corner wise, I think Chevis Jackson's done an excellent job with those guys, not just on the field but mentoring them off the field. We continue to work with that whole group about being the complete player and what they need to do to prepare. The athleticism obviously is there that brought them here. And then it's all the other things of studying and preparation, take care of themselves, all those little things. And I think they've embraced that very well.
Talking to Scott Brooks, he mentioned that on the offensive line, it's not just 5 guys who play well, but 5 guys who play well together. I was curious what you've seen in that regard, and do you feel like you have 5 that play well together?
Yeah, that's something that I guess will be truly evaluated across the board in this program on Friday night as we start. And that's the one thing is when the lights go on and the ball's kicked off, we're going to really get the true baseline of where we're at and what we've done in our time here and where we have to go. But yeah, offensive line, because again, whether it be really anytime you offer, communication is key, and yeah, there's 5, but they got to think like one and be on the same page, and identification and getting the feel of when working together, who's working off, and all the different things that go along with that. And that's why Scott alludes to that, and it's so important.
And then just since I know it is your favorite category, like Benton said, with the quarterbacks, from where you started camp to where you are now, is this about where you expected to be or hoped, or is it maybe ahead of time?
We'll have a lot of fun this year, right? So I'll just say that's 1B, maybe 1A is talking about injuries. So you guys hit both right away. Okay. But, I've really tried to come in with clearly an open mind of what to expect. I've kind of gone through these before and to try to give everyone what can be the, there's so much to look at, and then we talk as a staff and stuff, but it's like, okay, who's throwing the ball? Just like I said, okay, who was working with who at that moment and who are they going against at that time? But, I think I'm satisfied where it's at right now. For a guy who's never really satisfied. And so as we're always going to keep pushing. So I guess I didn't have, it needs to be here at this moment for us to feel like we're really good going into game one. Um, and I think, again, when the quarterback becomes live, and I think across the country, nobody's really making their quarterback live during that. There's a difference. And when it is, you really get to see what happens. Um, and I think I'll probably answer that a lot better next week. And feel free to ask it again, and we'll, and I can probably give you a little bit more where we're at.
Lance, what have you seen from Trevor Parnell at tight end?
When I met Trevor and everything, and he's on the baseball team here and things like that, and trying to work out, with the conversations of, kind of inheriting a situation with a two-sport athlete, and because we heard a lot of good things about him and try to balance that out. That was the first kind of, way he went about it. I thought he handled it well. He had an excellent summer, but he's very athletic. I'm really impressed with him. I know Andy Kolnicki is as well. Not just being a receiving tight end. He's embraced what we're asking our tight ends to do. He's a guy that can motion around and do some things. And, he's going to be utilized a lot this season, and looking forward to really seeing him get that first action on Friday. But I've been very pleased. I think, you look at him and Mason Fairchild, I know Andy's very pleased where the depth of that position is. I think we have another young tight end, and Will Huggins, who's a big, tall body that will continue to add depth to that position. And then we got some other guys there that are more fullback type bodies, but can fill in the roles of what we've been doing offensively these last few years, and all will have chances to contribute in different ways. So collectively, that's a group that we'll continue to lean on. But yeah, I think he keeps working right. Trevor's got a bright future.
Lance, you talk about that depth. I was curious if going into game one, do you have a script? Do you have a number of guys you want to see play or get action, or do you just, is that a game flow thing, or how does that work?
It's a game flow rotational thing based on depth. I lean and trust on our coaches a lot based on rotations. As I've said from the start, is through competition you earn, and what you show in practice, and hopefully there's close gaps between that. We want to keep guys fresh. We want to be able to play 4 quarters, but we're going to do what we have to do to win a football game and put ourselves in the best position. And playing a team like South Dakota, who played in the spring, as experienced as they are, and players they have returning, we've got to make sure that it's not just fully scripted, that this is what's going to take place no matter what. Okay, we've got to go out and do what we can to get ourselves up on the right foot here.
It's a little bit similar to that, but kind of different. I mean, what do you expect from game one? Are you looking for a clean game? Are you looking for improvement throughout? Are you looking for a tone setter for the season? What do you want from game one?
All the above, I guess. If you could have it, it's right. I guess there's still unknowns, obviously, to see how guys produce in game situations, how we handle adversity, how we handle success, all the things. I want to see us playing hard and straining and give great effort, and no matter what the score is, and is that we're going to compete hard no matter who's on the field. And those are kind of all the things that we've been trying to instill from the summer all the way through. We're going to continue to do. And now you get to see it in front of people and really in live football.
Coach, you guys are just taking obviously the very first steps in what will hopefully be a long journey, a lot of work ahead. But now that game week is here, could you characterize what you've been through in the past month? Has it been stressful, fun?
Honestly, like I said, I think last week, it's really not about what I'm feeling. To me, it's been a normal camp and trying to do, but there's just a lot more to it, obviously, with short time with these guys and as a staff putting things together. So it's been unique, It's been unique for the players too. And some of the things that we've changed how practices were run, changed the schedule of the day, changed how we do things. And I've really been appreciative of the way they've accepted that. And I think they've seen the benefits of some of those. It's just a different way of doing it. Personally though, there's parts, I can't say my day is drastically changed, but obviously it's a lot more condensed and occupied in different ways. But um, as good as that question is, I guess I don't feel like I always give great answers to these, but I think those are questions sometimes I answer better in January or June. Then you kind of really reflect everything that was really going on. And right now you're in the moment of it and you just keep going. And that's what we do. And you got to find a way to get it done. And, I work for a man one time I worked for him for 10 years and he used to tell us every year, when you're tired, pray for strength. Okay. And, so that's what you do this time of year.
Coach, first game week, what's your message for the student body? Anything you'd like them to know going into Friday?
Well, as far as attending the game, I think is what you're alluding to, in that they have a chance to be impactful. They have a chance to, and hopefully they'll know that they have a chance to be a part of this and help us turn this program around. And them being at the games and being involved and creating a home field advantage, all those things can be impactful. And hopefully it's part of the college experience for a student. And hopefully that's part of the reasons, I remember when I was a Division III coach, I went to recruit a young man and he politely told me he wasn't interested. And I said, why? And he goes, I want to go to a school whose scores are on the bottom of ESPN. I go, you gonna go? He goes, no, I just want to go to school there and go to the games and have fun. And that's always stuck with me. And now to have a chance to be at a place like the University of Kansas, I would hope there's plenty of students that part of that college experience it starts on Friday night, that they can come with some of their friends, some of the new acquaintances they've met on campus and be impactful. Because just like everyone in our community, our alumni, our fan base, our student body can all have a part in putting this program and where it needs to be. And hopefully we never lose sight of that or lose the appreciation that they'll have.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, me first. Just kidding. What do you see him calling Bret Hart?
Grit, toughness, coachability. He's humble. I love being around the guy. You can build around guys like that. He comes in here, obviously, everyone knows about his father. Everybody knows he's at Notre Dame. He just comes in like one of the guys each and every day. And, those are the type of guys you want in your program. And he's been versatile. And he's been slowed a little bit, but like I say, he's a gritty guy. And I really, really, appreciate him being here and enjoy having him here.
You mentioned South Dakota played in the spring. What kind of stands out to you about their personnel, maybe their strengths heading into this game?
They got 21 returning starters. They've got all their returning specialists. And one thing through time, and, we want to be there someday, is that when you play long into the regular season, when you go back out in the spring, you have great retention. Okay. And when you have great retention, you keep building upon it. Well, now you got to play 4 games in the spring. What do you think their retention level is right now? So that's the thing. Scores, exclude the scores. They've got everybody coming back and they get to build upon what they were doing. I've known Bob Nielsen for a long time. Bob was coach at Wisconsin Eau Claire. Then he was at Duluth. And then he was the AD at Duluth. And then he hired himself back as the football coach. Okay. And then he went to Western Illinois. He has been a program builder for a long time. And he does it in an excellent way. They're well coached. Got a couple young quarterbacks that played last year. I didn't watch in the film. I didn't even look the first time. Know the guy was a freshman. Now everybody gets the year back, but to see the composure and all the things in a season and like everybody went through, again, and most of the Missouri Valley Football Conference for an FCS program is an excellent football conference, very competitive, and I went through that. Like I said, and my respect for that whole league is immense. They said when I was at Buffalo, I said, we're not scheduling Missouri Valley schools. Okay. I just flat out said, we're not scheduling them.
I wanted to ask you about Romello Dotson, just what he's done to impress you guys the past few weeks.
Very steady, and very true to what Coach Jackson told me when I first got here. He's a pretty laid back guy, but again, he continues to grow, mature, open up, gain confidence and all the things. And, he's been very steady. And again, a lot of those young guys out there, there may be a growing pain or two throughout the year, but I'm really excited to watch them go play and actually get out and get after it.
Any other questions?
Anybody?
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it. Have a great rest of the week.